guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you my first wash and go, I should say on video, because I have done a couple since I cut my hair 3 weeks ago. Obviously, after my big chop, I've had to style it, so I've just been playing around with a couple things. But today, I'm going to do a serious one, because based on one of the things I've been doing on 2 weeks, I realized that I really need to take my time to do section by section to make sure I can stretch my wash and go as long as possible in between wash days. I'm going to start with my Blueberry Bliss. From Curls as a leave-in. After that, I will put my oil, and this is the mix that I typically use to kind of take care of my bald spot that is not so bold anymore, but I really like the blend. And then I have been playing around so far with the pomegranate and honey from Mael, which is the coil custard, and really it has been giving me a really deep definition, and it kind of helps maintain it throughout the week. My hair is already freshly washed, dip conditioned, and all of that. And of course I have my bottle of water, and I'm going to do the clumping with my Denman brush. So I'm going to start by the back, which is where my curls are the loosest really. And please don't mind my skin. It's during a rebellion after getting the IUD put in, so I don't know what the hell's going on with this. So I'm going to start by my curls leave-in. I'm just going to put this and just put it just a few drops really, because I don't want it to be too tacky. Oh, and the reason I have the little packets of the Mael is because I ran out of a packet that I was using that I kind of shared with my mom when she was here, and I'm kind of waiting for Black Friday to buy the whole jar because it is, I think, $12.99, and I'm like, I can hold out. With this, it seemed to work best the first time I used it if I put a lot, so I have to be quite generous. This was bound to happen. So I'm using this. Like, it might be a little bit much, but let's see. Because it glides so much, so well. The one thing I don't like about this custard, I do have to say, is like as soon as I put it on, it's like it soaks up all the moisture for some reason. It feels kind of drying. Like, I don't know how to explain it, because it has incredible slip, but it's just, it feels like it just soaked up all the moisture that I put in before. So that's also why I like to use this curls, because it is very moisturizing. So I'm going to use this, and I think it's enough. And what I'm going to finish off with is a few brushes of the Denman brush, like so. But as you could see, my hair was curling up by itself and clumping already, so I'm just not doing the most right now, and I think that's gonna be enough, honestly, the way it clumps. It also makes it shrink so much more, but whatever. I'm really curious to see what it's gonna look like. So that's the first section. So there we are, I am completely done, and it took me about 40 minutes, which I'm kind of surprised for how short my hair is, but whatever. I really had to focus and do really tiny sections in my crown area because it is much looser and it tends to get a lot frizzier. And same thing with the front. I really was generous with the custard because it is very loose. Like this one, for example, I have a hard time to curl, so it really needs a lot of guidance. So that's what I did. And honestly, I kind of flip-flop back with the Denman brush. I kind of applied it a lot more religiously again on my crown because it just needs a little bit more guidance, as well as right here. But essentially, I just felt like my curl have a nice way of finding their own group and clump together, so I would just do it to just spread the product as well as I could at the root. But I think my hair is just pretty disciplined. I'm just going to let it air dry, and hopefully it is at least 70% dry before I go to bed, because now it's like 5:30 at this point. Tomorrow I will show you how I refresh it and how my day 2 result look like. So until then, good night. Hey guys, I am back. It is the next day and I woke up actually a little bit ago. It dried to, I want to say 80 to 85% before I went to bed, and it was just my crown really that was still very wet. I mean very wet. That was still humid, I should say. And then when I woke up this morning, it just, I don't know if you can hear, I'll try to get close to the mic, but it's very crispy. It is very crispy. It's a little better now because I've been kind of like touching it, but it's definitely like, I don't know, I definitely put more than I did last time, but in the back here, I mean, it's crunchy. It crunches. But the good thing about this is that when you re-wet it, it kind of fluff it up without making it frizzy. And that's kind of what I want to do. So I am just going to use the viewer here, so it's going to be a little awkward. But yeah, you can see how like stiff it is when you look at it. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my water bottle here to spray my hair and just kind of like fluff it up. I'm just gonna wet it overall. So as you can tell, like just, you know, wetting it again, like it just refluffs immediately and it's a lot more bouncy. But it's gonna keep that cast around the curls regardless. So that's what I'm going to do. It doesn't have to be extreme, doesn't have to be super wet. It's just enough to humidify it, so you can kind of like play around with the curls, nothing extra. And that is literally what I will be doing the entire week. Then I'll just go ahead and fluff it. Ooh-da. There you go. Yeah, it helps break the cast a little bit when you re-put some water. And honestly, this part seems fluffier than the rest. But yeah, honestly, I like it, but I guess for day 1, it is very awkward to have very short, crunchy hair. That's the only thing about this custard, but it feels re-moisturized when you spray some water. This one's huge. But that's it. This is my day 2 hair, and I am ready to go. I mean, I'm definitely gonna have to do something over here because I don't know what the hell's going on. I went ahead real quick and checked in the bathroom what the hell was going on with this, because again, with the viewer, I can't see the best. It's not that bad, but typically on day 3 or 4, whatever, when some of the ends start to get frizzy, like when it'll dry, it'll be fine here. What I typically do with my Denman brush is that I just take that part that's frizzy, kind of just reclump it together, and then it just like it just kind of reclumps and recurls, and it's not as frizzy anymore. So that is probably the only adjustments I would do when my hair starts getting frizzy. It's just to kind of put it back in shape. So I would just, again, grab a section and just like kind of make it clump again and then like fluff it back into shape. That's probably the only thing I would do here, as unsurprisingly, it's hair that's come from my crown. That would tend to happen a lot more. But honestly, I'm just picking right now because I'm trying to be a little extra, but I wouldn't even need to do that. So this is all I wanted to show you guys today. Just, you know, how I do my wash and go with short hair after my big chop. And I hope you liked it. If you liked the video and you would want to see more, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and I will talk to you next time. Salut!